Publicly funded organisations are expected to be efficient, flexible and accountable, and to deliver dynamic, specialised work that relies on a jigsaw puzzle of skills that are often not found in a single person. But when it comes to staffing, we often default to models that make those goals harder to achieve. We build roles like boxes, each one designed to be filled by one person working full-time, or maybe a couple of people sharing a role, or one person working part-time on an ongoing basis. Internal systems are all built around roles, not fragments. HR processes, line management, software access, recruitment, it all assumes a whole person in a whole role, even if that approach means the person in that role will only use part of their skill set or only part of their time. We keep falling back into that model. It's tidy, it's familiar, but it's also limiting. We can end up paying highly skilled people to do lower value work to fill up their days, or we might miss out on specialised capabilities because we can't justify a full-time hire. We end up with underutilised specialists or generalists who are stretched too thinly. We lose flexibility, we lose precision, we lose time, and we lose money in the long run. Different models are increasingly common in other settings where technology enables access to a mix of skills from different workers in small, flexible bites. Consulting firms, for example, build teams with complementary skills and slot those skills into relevant projects. People with rare and specialised skills might contribute just a few days of their expertise to a bigger project. That's an efficient, targeted way to use special ingredients, although traditional consulting set menus often include extra courses of premium-priced generalists you already have in the pantry. Small businesses routinely access small bites of expertise from the gig economy. New platforms make it easier than ever to commission small servings of work from specialists who can offer exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. No overheads, no long-term commitments, just targeted portions of capability delivered on demand. It's increasingly common for small business to manage teams of capability fragments that augment their core workforce, which can take quite a bit of coordination. We call these models Frankenworkers, not because they're monsters, but because they're assembled from fragments of many people's skills and energy, carefully, intentionally, just the right parts at just the right time. Frankenstein's monster wasn't terrifying because of the stitches and bolts, or at least not mostly that. He was terrifying because nobody understood how to harness his strength. It's harder for publicly funded organisations to access those models. It's even harder to access consulting firms who can readily supply access to an existing stable of Frankenworkers. The fragmentary approach isn't right for every role. It isn't even right for most roles. And it isn't easy to do. Negotiating procurement rules, policy preferences, and industrial frameworks can all make it harder to access small chunks of capability. We're set up to hire whole people into whole roles, even when the people in the roles are not a good fit. So it's worth understanding when the extra value of a perfect capability fit justifies the extra effort required to access that model. When the work is short-term, highly specialised, or made up of fragments that are hard to match to whole people, the traditional approach probably won't give you the best results, or the best value for scarce public resources. If the need is common across many parts of the organisation and relatively even over time, you could assemble a team of in-house specialists to work as advisors and project-based resources on demand. That takes some effort to build up the right systems and operational flexibility, and it can lead to bottlenecks at peak periods, but those models exist and can work well. Or you could draw on external support, especially if you can procure a self-organising team of expert Frankenworkers to augment and uplift your own team rather than trying to replace them. That's a different way of partnering with consultants, and they might not all be willing to do it, but it can provide just the right amount of cream at a fair price without having to rent the whole cow. It also spares you the overhead of procuring, managing, and coordinating lots of specialist fragments. The future of public value consulting isn't about replacing roles or even outsourcing whole projects. It's about recognizing when the work doesn't fit neatly into role-shaped packages and mobilizing just the right support as efficiently as possible. So when you're facing an oddly shaped or short-term capability gap, don't ask who's the best person for the job. Ask what's the best way to assemble the skills we need. The best answer might be borrowing part of an outside expert who's done it all before and stitching them together with your existing team for just a little while. Then, just add lightning and leave the pitchforks in the barn. Thank you for watching.